started showing me pictures of strange boys. Who wrote that line?
Hello everybody and welcome back to Apollo Justice. We have just broken Valent's psyche lock, so let's get back into it.
There's no proof. Not at all!
But Thalassa went missing, and your mentor blackmailed both of his disciples. It doesn't take a genius to put one and one together.
Ours was a complex family.
You mean Troop Grammary?
The master of Magnifi Grammary, his only daughter, and his 2 disciples.
That does sound like a recipe for disaster, doesn't it?
Do not be tempted into faulty flights of fancy. Yes, there was an accident, but that is all it was. An accident. Zack and Valent's tour de force. The guns blaze, the bullets fly, straight toward that beautiful body on stage. And then crash, zing, pow, into everything but her. Now that is magic. It happened one day when we were practicing. Same trick with a new twist. And tragedy. But as for whose bullets stole Thalassa's life, we shall never know the answer. Thalassa disappeared from our lives, and Zack was bereft of his wife. Trilogy lost her mother, and Magnifi, his daughter.
And that led to blackmail, I take it?
It is all part and parcel of the darkness that comes when the curtain falls.
Why did Magnifi Grammary try to cover up the incident? It was his own daughter who died.
All I can say is, it was a critical time for Troop Grammary. A passing of the torch from Magnifi to Zack and Valent. We all sacrificed so that it might be a success. Thalassa's death. It's the greatest sacrifice of all. Yet, even when her life was extinguished, her presence was not.
What do you mean?
In time, we, myself and Zack, found we could no longer oppose Magnifi's wishes. Magnifi forced us to perform his art for his benefit.
I see. I guess I can understand. I mean, he did lose his only daughter.
But do you not find cowardice in his actions?
Huh?
To decide to hide the truth of your own daughter's death is one thing. But then to hang that death as a guillotine above our heads?
Things were dark behind the scenes in Troop Grammary. That's for sure. Does Trucy know?
She was not told, naturally. Who would want to know that their father might have taken their mother's life?
True.
I had not thought of that accident for a long time.
I'm sorry to dredge up old memories, but this has helped a lot.
Not to find Magnifi's slayer, I should think.
True.
After that accident, there was one who came sniffing, quite persistently.
A reporter?
He called himself a newsman at the time. Often I spied him lurking around the dressing room, doing his research. He had his hand in his trousers, he had a little bit of a toothbrush, and he kept brushing his face and then rubbing his hand. I don't know what he was doing. Seems like a disturbed man. I hope we never have to encounter him again.
Would you happen to remember his name?
What was his name? Oh, sorry, I have forgotten. But in the course of his interviewing, he became quite close to my partner, Zack. I liked him not.
I see. A nice not joke. I thought those died out 20 years ago.
Not?
You get it?
Yes.
I see.
His name, I do not recall, but his scent, the cloying aroma of mint. Yes, whenever he smiled, which was far too often.
I see. Thanks for your help.
It does no good to interfere with the past, Mr. Wright. You will not uncover answers, only wounds.
I'm sorry. I'd begun to notice a dark curtain hanging over Troop Grammary, and I began to realize what I had to do. I had to protect Trucy from that darkness. The reporter he mentioned, the newsman, I never learned who that was at the time, though I've got a pretty good idea who it is now. That smile, and the sickly sweet smell of mint, the last floss-thin thread connecting Zach Grammary to this world. Sooner or later, I'd have to track him down. Oh, we're gonna have to do more stuff with Brushel, do we? Tell me we don't. Okay, alright. I don't remember what we did there. Okay, let's go Drew Studio. Present day, Drew Studio.
Eh? Well, what do we have here?
This fucking guy. I'm sorry, I'm just processing that I have to do a whole fucking bit with him. Okay, it's fine. Remember me?
Of course I remember you. Journalist meets ex-attorney in bar. End quote.
Can I ask what you're doing here? Mr. Mission was poisoned and his daughters...
Oh yes, I know. Oh, how I know. Oh yes. It's caused me no end of grief, to be honest. The journalist wishes he tracked down case a little quicker. End quote.
Were you on the trail of this case the whole time?
Zach Grammary was a good friend.
Zach said something to that effect back at the Borscht Bowl Club.
What a character! What a man! 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 What a mighty good man! If a little, no.
Jesus Christ! This fucking guy! I can't. He just keeps showing up, you know, like what? Oh my god. I don't know how to process this motherfucker. I'm just like... Anyway, how y'all doing? I'm doing alright. I've been really getting into Pokemon TCG Pocket on the apps. And I've been playing that a lot. What have y'all been playing? Let me know in the comments if you want to. This is to the like 3 people that sometimes comment. Feel free to let me know what you're playing, and yeah, let's get back to this fucking guy.
If a little, no, a lot. No, extremely rough around the edges.
Do you think I could ask you a few questions?
Oh, you serious? I mean, I'm usually the interviewer, not interviewee. Journalists ask questions, not other way around. End quote. Fine, shoot, I don't care. People have been asking me all sorts of things lately.
This fucking guy. Alright, let's have a look around. Let's see if we get any new dialogue. This is where Mr. Mission fell? Never thought our 7-year reunion would be quite like this.
Wait, you knew Mr. Mission?
I met him once. In court. It was a brief meeting, but one I'll remember for the rest of my life.
Now that's a story right there, that is. I smell a scoop. Ex-attorney, now down on his luck penis, plays Sonata of Sorrow. End quote. I'm all ears, let's have it, don't hold anything back.
Could you at least get rid of the down on his luck part? Okay. What's in here? That's the exit. What am I talking about? The door outside. Vera might come walking in at any moment. If she wasn't in intensive care. Will she ever come through that door again, I wonder? Those 3 paintings.
Oh, Drew's works, of course. Just to say, Vera's works, really. Or, to be more precise, Vera's forgeries of someone else's work. Of course, if you demand utter and total precision. Actually, there's nothing more.
I was about to say. Okay. Nothing really else on this side. What you got over here? That's an odd assortment of equipment to find in a painter's studio. Well, of course, it makes more sense when you know that they were making forgeries. I guess that's why they never took visitors here. Wouldn't really want people seeing all of this.
Yes, in fact, I was the first human being ever to set foot inside this studio. Also on the moon. I did it years before that Neil Armstrong dude. I just took my mint and I squeezed a toothpaste tube and it shot me all the way to the moon. And I was the first human being ever. And I survived because the aliens on the moon thought that I was one of their own. And so they gave me lots of things. And now I'm here. I'm not sure where this is going, and you could probably fact check a lot of this, because it's not true. I just lied a whole bunch. I'm not a very good journalist. Ex-journalist lies about moon to ex-attorney. End quote.
Mr. Jesus Christ. I don't know what I'm doing. I didn't done any improv like last time. So I don't know, I'm getting it all out now. I hope you guys enjoy this stuff. I really do. I enjoy it, but I hope you guys enjoy it too.
Other than Mr. Misham, of course. Oh, and Vera too. And this is assuming that I'm human, of course.
Jesus Christ. This guy might be an alien. I don't know, maybe he is an alien after all. Jesus Christ. Oh my god. I'm beginning to have my doubts. Wait. Why can't I... Oh, okay. A drafting table. Probably for making detailed designs for forgeries.
You know what I think about that? I'll tell you. Painting should be done freehand. No rules, no restrictions. You really think a line drawn by a ruler is going to move anyone? I smell a letter to the editor. Could you write an article with a ruler? End quote. Unless you wanted a ruler to write the address on your blackmail letter straight. That's what I think. You could quote me on it too.
You could drop this guy on a deserted island and he wouldn't get bored. That's the takeaway from his whole thing. Look at all the jars of paints and pigments. Why are there so many jars of the same color?
My guess is that they're sorted by age.
Age?
When you're making a forgery, it's important to match the age of the original, see? Paint compositions changed a lot over the years.
Oh, right. You learned that in journalism school?
Journalist relies on writing skill and imagination. End quote.
As long as you don't do news stories by imagination.
Either that, or they just bought a lot of the same color by mistake.
I find myself not caring anymore. Let's take a closer look at that desk. No clues here. Really? You sure about that? This frame looks even smaller sitting next to that photo. Just the right size for a commemorative stamp indeed. A commemorative stamp put there by a daughter that killed her father. Sometimes life just sucks. Sometimes a daughter kills a dad and that's okay. You know, it's okay. A picture of a young Mr. Misham and a very young Vera. They're smiling. They look happy. Of course, now Mr. Misham's passed away, and Vera's on death's doorstep in the hospital. Guess I'll just do what I can, and hope it's enough.
Objection!
I just have to do that when I see this pose. Can't believe it's been 7 years. I have to stop torturing myself with these things. I know, I'll just pretend it's saying something else. The post office? Why? It's right over there! Good day, sir. Oh, Feedy. This envelope's from the client who requested that forgery. Just think, if that had gone lost in the mail, I'd still be wearing my attorney's badge. I guess that's everything here. Okay, let's get chat. Oh, this fucking guy. Can we present you with anything? I guess not right now. I think there's anything I would want to present him. Nope, wrong button. Let's have a chat. It was tragic what happened to Drew Misham and his daughter.
Forgery is a serious crime, and they paid the price. You know what really did them in, though, don't you?
Yes, a forged diary page.
The night I interviewed him, I found out something about Mr. Misham I hadn't known.
Oh, what's that?
You know, he always felt like he was being watched. Every day for 7 years. Walls have ears, potatoes have eyes. End quote.
Being watched? You mean he felt guilty?
No, I'm not talking about feelings here. That's the thing that facts don't care about. Fact! I brush my teeth 27 days in a row for 5 hours straight each time. Anyway. You know, I felt watched too. The whole time I've been on this case, no less. Journalist gets tingling sensation on back of neck, freaks out. End quote.
Because you felt guilty?
Why would I feel guilty?
You felt like you were being watched, huh? I wonder what it all means. Drew Misham felt like he was being watched, and you along with him. Are you sure it wasn't just nerves?
Nerves? No, it's nothing so mundane. I stopped paying attention to my nerves a long time ago. I felt it too! Journalist sure he's being watched. End quote. Don't you wonder why Zach Grammy got rubbed out after 7 years? Right after coming into contact with me? He completely vanishes from that courtroom. Then for 7 years he talks to no one, not a soul. Then just as the remaining time was almost up, he contacts me in order to have this made.
And then he dies.
Starting to put the pieces together, are we?
And you were being watched this whole time?
Maybe not just me. Maybe you were too.
Me?
I met Zach through that case, actually.
You mean the shooting of Magnifigrammary?
No, before that! It's not widely known.
You mean the accident? During the quick draw shoot 'em practice?
My, you're well informed. You should have seen me back then. I dug up quite the scoop. I wanted it all. Money, fame, women, a little puppy. All for me. I was younger then, and my days and nights smelled of fresher mint than they do now. I've had this rotting mint in my cheeks for a decade.
I know I have to solve this murder, but I am going to kill you after this. This fucking guy, oh my god. Valen Grammery did mention one particularly nosy reporter.
In fact, I was on close speaking terms with Magnifigrammary at the time. I knew his daughter, too, of course. Thalassa, was it now?
Really?
Then Thalassa disappeared, quite suddenly at that. And Magnifi wouldn't say a word about it. Yeah, my evil habit got the better of me. Journalist catches scent of a scoop, goes on feeding frenzy. End quote. I set up a one-on-one interview with Thalassa's husband, see?
Zach Grammary.
Something strange was in the air over at Troop Grammary in those days. The whole Scream mentor controlling disciple scene started by then, I guess. Thalassa, she was part of it all, right? Come on, you can tell me. Off the record.
Sorry, I don't know.
Anyway, I kept prying and eventually became friends with Zach. Sure, he punched me once or twice, or 5 times. But over time, he came to see me as his confidant.
I don't know if my voice can keep up with this. Like, I gotta keep drinking water. Oh, God.
He's been waiting this whole time. 7 years, eh?
Waiting?
For his big comeback, of course. A big revival of the Magnifi miracle. Of course it was all a dream.
Because of this. The performance rights.
In the absence of any official documents, it was golden. Who's to say the old man didn't give his rights to both Zack and Valen?
So Valen waited until Zack died. Legally, at least.
If time finally comes and Valen's like a cradle kid on Christmas morning.
He's getting ready for his show at the Sunshine Coliseum, you know.
If that document sees the legal light of day, it's going to put a bit of a damper on the big show. He's a sorry one, that Valen Grammary. Lost out to his partner at work, and in love, too.
Love?
It's the same old story, really. 2 disciples and their mentor's only daughter. One has 3 sides and all of them pointy. I love triangle.
That is pretty classic.
When you're in a performing troupe, that's your world. It's like family. One with an entire high school's worth of drama, intrigue, and backstabbing.
And in the middle of all of this, Thalassa has Trucy. And then she dies. I need to find out more about this Thalassa. Can we present anything to you, Pal Palarini? How about this? Mr. Brushel, could you take a look at this?
Yeah, I hear you loud and clear. Loud and clear. So, you want me to write an article on that, right? What's the angle?
Actually, no, that's okay. I don't need an article. I was just wondering if you had any thoughts on this.
Well, I hear you. I hear you. You want me to sniff around for a scoop? Well, you've come to the right nose, my friend. It's odorless.
Thanks. Okay, that was less than informative. Jesus Christ, dude, just stop sniffing my evidence. Alright, what we got? I already presented this. I'm guessing there's not really much we can do. Maybe we gotta come back. Is there really nothing we can do? Surely. Maybe we present this again? Nope. This? No? Oh, hello. There we go. Mr. Brushel, do you know this person?
Do I know that person? Of course! I was friends with Zack, after all. He hit me a few times. 5 times, actually. But still, I never forget his wife. Thalassa Grammary.
Magnifi Grammary's only daughter. Do you think you could tell me more about her?
Well, why the heck not?
Alright, there we go.
So, Thalassa married Zack and had Trucy, see? It was her second marriage, actually.
You mean she was divorced? I hadn't heard this one before.
Not quite. Her late husband was a performer, too. Apparently he died during some gig. Tragic, really. They had only been married 1 year.
I didn't know.
Yeah, but she was a beauty. I still carry a portrait photo of her around, you know.
That's so weird, Brushel. Why the fuck would you have that with you? That's so weird, man. I'm gonna punch you. Make it fucking 6 times, okay? Oh my god.
I've known Trucy since she was a little thing, too. She got the better deal, really. She's got you for family, after all.
Huh? What do you mean?
Just reminiscing, you know. The lass has another child besides Trucy. End quote.
What? But Trucy said she was an only child.
Yes, this one she had with her previous husband.
Her previous husband? Her first husband who died during a performance.
Yep, they have themselves a kid. Another orphan now. That's another one who slipped through the cracks. I have no idea where they are now.
The Lassa had another child? Do you think I could borrow this photo?
Sure, I can be generous on occasion, you know.
The Lassa's portrait added to the court record. I don't know what these stains are, but I'm just gonna ignore them. I won't need this locket anymore. I'm gonna destroy it. Better return it to Trucy before I forget. Oh, excuse me.
People at events all get tangled together and get bigger and bigger. Don't you think?
I was too busy wondering about Biggerer to listen to what you were saying.
Sometimes you just gotta accept that you won't be able to untangle it all. I think.
Maybe so. But still, I have to do what I can. And I have to tell what I find to those who come next.
Next, you say?
I'm not the one who will close the curtain on this little play. Apparently that's not my role anymore.
Magnifi.
Huh?
I was just wondering what Magnifi would think of all of this, you know?
What do you mean?
Haven't you seen it in Trucy? She's got his power.
You mean how I can't lie to Trucy?
It was the same with Magnifi, and with his daughter, Thalassa.
It's a strange thing. You think it's some grammary gene?
Magnifi told me once when Zack married Thalassa. He said Zack had good eyes, but not good like a Grammary's eyes. Not that good.
I wonder if Zack ever played a game of poker with his wife. Who knows what the Grammary secret was?
Maybe nobody, now that Zack's gone.
Zack Grammary. The plot had finally begun to reveal itself. It sprouted from a warp in the Grammary fabric and grew, swallowing everything, wrapping itself around the Grammary's powers. Sorry y'all, I'm just very quickly turning my phone on Do Not Disturb. I was hoping to do it very subtly and smoothly, but I didn't get to do that, so you get this little interlude. Lucky you. A power which passed from Magnifi Grammary to Thalassa, to the next generation. And I would once again need to meet the one who bridged it all together. Okay. Oh, thank God. We better not see this motherfucker at all in this entire fucking game. I mean, we have to see him so much. He just keeps showing up, like... God damn. Alright, let's go. What we got? The Grammary secret. I have to know more about this power of Trucy's. It's like she can see right into people's minds. First time I saw her do it, it blew mine.
And after you were done having your mind blown, you took her to play cards with you.
Gotta use the resources at hand, I always say.
Yet, I myself have no such power.
But Trucy does. Why is that? Maybe Trucy got her power from her mother? Thalassa Grammary?
I will not speak of that!
Thalassa is officially missing, correct? And I think I know why you don't want to talk about her. I mean, because she fucking died. Because you shot her, maybe? I don't know. Three of you were a team once. Not that the entire country doesn't already know this. At your peak, you were the biggest stars around. Yet, there's another story behind the fame. One that not many know. Thalassa lost her life during a rehearsal. There it is. to you and Valen Grammary's bullets.
It was an accident! It wasn't me. How could I shoot my dear Thalassa?
I'm sure Valen would say the same thing. Why, it's just like another murder I might mention.
Damn you! Her eyes. I loved Thalassa's eyes. To think they could read my mind was frightening. Yet there was a warmth in them that felt like an embrace. She is dead, and Magnifi Grammary has joined her.
So the only one with her power left now is Trucy? Mr. Zack?
I do not know.
I don't need any power to see through that one, buddy. So there's someone else. Someone other than Trucy. Someone who inherited Thalassa's power.
Ha! Ha! How would I know?
My chances are slim. It would take a miracle to learn the truth. Or maybe one has already occurred. There is someone else with the power, and I know who.
This boy?
His name is... I forget. Something weird.
Who could he be?
An attorney.
Attorney?
I noticed him when I went to visit a friend's law offices.
So, what are we to make of this, oh great ex-attorney Chronicles 2 Resolve? Ha! You could show me pictures of strange boys.
Jesus Christ. Who wrote that line? Why would they have this line in it? Zach, what are you saying? What are you saying, man? Like, oh my god. Greg's friends with this guy. Makes sense why this guy was friends with Brushel for so many years late. Oh my god. Alright, it just requires a sip of water to process. Oh. Okay, alright. Let's try and get through this line.
You could show me pictures of strange boys, or you...
What? Okay.
You could show me pictures of strange boys, or you like. But you could at least say something like, I'm this boy. I could choose a laugh.
Perhaps you wouldn't laugh if you knew the facts. This might not be 100% proof, but it's close. There's a link between this boy and Thalassa. Actually, it's more of a ring.
A ring?
Perhaps this will refresh your memory. I just so happen to have evidence showing this missing link. Actually, I know something. Your marriage to Thalassa was her second.
How did you know this?
Her first husband, he died a year after they were wed, yes?
He was a performer. They met when he joined us Grammaries as a guest on our show. After Thalassa wed him, she left the troupe for a while. And you say she had a child then?
I have a photograph of her here. I couldn't help but notice what she was wearing when I first saw this. Those bracelets stand out.
They are Grammary family heirloom.
This boy wears a bracelet just like the ones in the picture.
What? So, that's why.
Why what, Mr. Zack?
I took this photograph of Thalassa before she left us. When she returned, she wore only one bracelet.
I better know where that other one went.
She gave it to this boy. Her son.
Ooh, big secrets coming out, huh? A lot of revelations. See, I find the issue with this case is that, like, these are all cool revelations, but it feels like we're just kind of learning things. We're just kind of going and having conversations and learning things. There's no, like, urgency to any of it, you know, and I feel like that's such a critical thing in, like, the last case of, like, every Phoenix Wright game, is that you want to feel like there's a bit of a ticking clock, you know, like, someone's in danger. I mean, like, obviously, like, Vera's in danger, but we don't really know her. We don't really know much about her. There's nothing really at stake aside from her, and we're not very attached to her, and, like, you know, that it just feels like there's a lot that's very interesting about this case, but because of the way that it's designed, it feels such a lore dump more than a case at the moment. At least this section of the case, you know?
The strange power. I myself do not know from where it comes. Yet the fact is, it is passed down the Grammary line. It runs in their veins.
What is it?
I asked her, the Lasser, once. This is what she told me. Her power responds to tension in others.
Tension?
If she were to face a person and they became tense, even slightly, then she would know, no matter how hard they try to hide it from her.
So she could see it?
Not quite. This is the strangest part of it all. She wouldn't realize that she was subconsciously detecting this tension, without the use of a particular object, or in her case, objects.
Objects? Wait, were they something she wore?
Yes, her bracelets.
I admit the first time I saw one of those, I felt there was more to it than just fashion. What kind of power could a bracelet have?
I have made the decision. I will tell you all that I know. Consider it a gift.
Well, I hardly need you to tell me at this point, but those two...
Our brother and sister, yes. And the brother too has this power of theirs.
So Trilogy has an older brother. I wonder what will come of that. I wonder if we'll ever mention it again after this case. I guess we'll see.
Mr. Wright, tonight, after our game is done, I will return to a life of hiding. I would not see her live her life without knowing.
I understand. I'll tell the two of them when the time is right. Maybe in Ace Attorney 7.
I'm in your debt. Once again.
No kidding. What I want to know is how all this got to be so messed up.
Those bracelets are made of a special alloy. It is said to expand and shrink very slightly in response to body warmth.
So they're temperature sensitive or something? You saying they're autistic? No, everyone in this game's autistic. That's my headcanon anyway. I just gotta give Lucky some treats, y'all. Give me a sec. Yeah, a quick sec. No, you don't want any treats? Oh, you do. Lucky does this thing where, like, she'll sniff a treat in my hand and then she'll kind of recoil a little bit, and then I'll be like, do you want this? And then she'll be like, yes, I do want this. I just wanted to trick you first with a little performance. Little goober. Aren't you a goober? I'll probably cut the rest of this out. I'll see you in a sec. And we're back.
Yes. This is how they can shrink to the exact size of their wearer's wrists.
Then this is something to do with the power.
What have I told you? The Grammary power reacts to tension in others. When a Grammary senses tension, they too become tense. And this tension translates into minute contractions of the muscles. So minute they cannot sense it on their own.
Their muscles? Oh, so that's what the bracelets are for.
With a bracelet on, one can sense those contractions. Because the bracelet is always a perfect fit.
So when the person they're watching gets tense, the bracelet feels tighter on their wrist.
Precisely.
But that alone doesn't really count as mind reading.
I believe I understand how the process works from there. It's a simple question of eyesight.
Eyesight? I guess that sounds simple enough.
Have you ever heard of kinetic vision?
Something about the ability to see moving objects with full clarity, right? I've heard of it before. They say athletes can see a moving ball like it was stopped, if they focus.
Oh, but it's not confined to sports alone. It all relies on the ability to focus. When we focus, we can see many things. The faintest twitch of the face, and the meaning that lies beneath it. Therein lies one of the secrets of magic. One must know the mind of a crowd before one may distract it.
So, basically what you're saying is, the Grammarys can see really well?
For them, seeing is more than believing. It is knowing. Their power relies on eyesight combined with exceptional focus.
Things are starting to come into focus for me, too.
Of course, it is difficult to maintain such levels of focus for any length of time. But what if someone could tell you when to focus?
Or something.
Precisely.
But wait, Trucy doesn't have any bracelets.
You're talking about poker, yes? The timing of when to focus is so elementary, she probably does it without thinking. I doubt Trucy herself has realized this. That is all I know of things Grammary.
Thank you, Mr. Zack.
This boy's bracelet is the real thing, then he will use it before long, thereby awakening his power.
I'll keep that in mind. Well, shall we play a game?
I've said so much. Let me say one more thing. I will tell you of that night.
That night?
The night my mentor, Magnifi Grammary, passed from this world to the next. There were 2 pistols and 2 letters sent. This was Magnifi's test.
A test?
In his last years, Magnifi Grammary worked us to the bone. No, to the pain. But that night, I could not shoot him. So I shot the clown's forehead instead. This, it seems, was the correct answer. Take this. I give my art to you, Zack. What? It is thanks for playing along with my show. You shot well tonight, Zack. Though I would not have minded dying by your hand. How could I shoot you? You're my mentor. Ah! I thought you might say that. If I went home without shooting anything, what would you have done then? Then, of course, I would have given Valent his chance. And if I had shot you in the forehead instead, then it would be over. If you or Valent were to shoot me in the head, then I to the darkness would go, and my art with me. A fitting end, don't you think? Yet this ending too gives me no cause for regret. I thank you, Zack. And I'm sorry. I've done much that was wrong in my day.
Such a serious conversation to be wearing such a sleepy cap on your head. You know what I mean? Like, having such a deep, serious conversation, and you've also got like Naruto's sleeping hat just on your head. Anyway, it seems to me that Magnifi wanted you to be a successor all along. That's why the time he gave you was earlier than Valent's.
Perhaps. But it is not something we will ever know for sure now. I wonder, what is Valent up to these days?
Waiting for you to die. If 7 years pass like this, the performance rights go to him.
And now here I am, and his dream is ended.
It's worse than that, actually. Public opinion's a fickle thing, you know.
What? You don't mean to tell me they put the blame for our mentor's death on him?
The trial ended when you vanished, Mr. Zack. There were even rumors that Valent had helped you pull it off.
But that's madness! Well, seems that before I can once again disappear from this world, I have one more act to perform. Isn't it odd that sorting out my life should prove so complicated, even though I'm dead?
That night, Zach Gramery was killed. He died as Shadi Smith, a mysterious traveler with a secret past. But he left one thing before he parted. This. His confession, to use as I saw fit. And of course, he'd killed no one. This was his way of tying up loose ends with his old business partner, Valen Gramery. Zach's confession added to the court record. Okay. I guess we go to Sunshine Coliseum. Have we done everything on the past? Everything but Drew Studio, huh? Who's even at Drew Studio in the past? Okay, anyway. Let's talk to Valen for a little bit. Present day, Sunshine Coliseum.
Well, this is a blast from the distant past.
Long time no see, Mr. Valen.
7 years has it been? Frankly, I didn't think I'd ever see you again.
Actually, I came because there's something I want to ask you.
I've spoken to the press. I've nothing more to say.
I've spoken to a lot of people myself, and come to some conclusions. But then I realized I needed to hear it from you.
I have walked a difficult road these past 7 years.
Because you couldn't perform Magnifi's repertoire.
Do not be deceived! Valen's skill is the real deal. I do not require my mentor's hand-me-downs. No, it was my partner who slowed me on my way.
Zach Gramery.
His rather well-performed disappearing act 7 years ago was the end. So I thought.
Zach Gramery murdered our mentor and fled to escape punishment for his crime. You said something to that effect 7 years ago, didn't you?
I remember it as if it were only yesterday. Yet, that was not the way of it in the end. For while he vanished, the suspicions upon my own person never did. His partner Zach vanished to protect him. That's what those thieving magpies of a press said.
I had no idea.
Yet that very same press comes to me now, feigning interest. They cover the greatest magic show in history as if it were a vaudevillian distraction. And here must I stand, smiling at them all. What am I if not a player in some fiendish farce?
Might I suggest it's because you never made it clear what happened? Magnifi's death is still a mystery to this day. Which is why I came here, to get the answer from you. I knew I'd be seeing these sooner or later.
The audience has no business stepping upon the stage. They must be content to sit and stare at the spotlight.
It sounds an awful lot like something I heard 7 years ago.
Alright, y'all, I think we're gonna leave it here for today. Thank you all for joining me.
It's a bit exhausting this last section, huh? It's a lot of just like going and talking to a bunch of people. There's not really a lot of investigating that we're doing. And the plot isn't I mean, it's kind of progressing, but sort of not really at the same time. I don't know. It's interesting. This case is very mixed. Like, if you talk to people online, there will be various opinions about the quality of this case. But yeah, I don't know. Let me know what you think as well. And yeah, I guess we'll leave it there for today. Thank you everyone for joining me. Thank you for being here. Like, comment, share, subscribe, do all those good things. Stay gay, stay hydrated, and I will see you all in the next one. Goodbye, everybody.